to see the teddy bear here to play. If you don't come play with us, then we will kill you.
This mother murdered her 3 kids during a psychosis episode. On January 24th, 2023, 32-year-old Lindsay Clancy took the life of her 5-year-old daughter Cora, 3-year-old son Dawson, and 7-month-old baby Callan. On this day at 4:53 p.m., Lindsay asked her husband Patrick to pick up some dinner at a restaurant not too far from the house. About an hour later, Patrick returned home and noticed that there was absolute silence. He called for Lindsay's name, and after no response, he went into the bedroom and noticed that the window was open. Lindsay had jumped out the window in an attempt to take her own life, but she was still alive. This is where things get really sad. Patrick went to the basement and found all 3 kids with exercise cords around their necks. Both Cora and Dawson passed away in the hospital, but baby Callan passed away 3 days later due to his injuries. Lindsay's defense attorney claims that she was suffering from postpartum psychosis, which led her to break from reality and murder her children. But the state attorney argues that these killings were premeditated and that Lindsay sent her husband to get food on purpose so that she can commit these crimes. However, Dr. Caney, who is a board member of Postpartum Support International, clarified that women can completely break with reality during violent episodes. She also said that women who are a few weeks postpartum should be aware of the symptoms of psychosis, which is usually hallucinating. Lindsay was charged with 2 counts of murder, 3 counts of strangulation and assault, and battery with a deadly weapon. And get this, she's currently paralyzed from the waist down after jumping out the window.
Imagine getting married only to be decapitated by your husband 3 months later. 21-year-old couple Jared and Angie got married in October 2022. Around 4 p.m. on the 11th of January, police were called to their home in Texas. Police made a grim discovery in the pair's bathroom after finding, quote, what appeared to be the head of the victim to be in the shower, end quote. Angie's body was discovered on the floor near the bed in a pool of blood with multiple stab wounds to her back. It was actually Jared's poor parents that initially made this discovery after entering the home. They then obviously alerted police to what they found. Jared was arrested and has confessed to killing his wife with a kitchen knife. Jared was actually captured on CCTV, casually stealing a bottle of beer from Angie's workplace just minutes after it's believed that he killed her. Angie's friends have reported to police that the couple's relationship was toxic and Jared was very controlling. Jared's bond is currently set at $500,000.
Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better run, run.
Now a lot of people have been tagging me in this video, so I'm here to explain who this is exactly. The girl you see on screen is named Isabella Guzman. She was born on June 1995. She was an only child and lived in Aurora, Colorado. Sadly, at the age of 5, her parents split up and got divorced, and Isabella ended up living with her mother, who eventually remarried another guy, which made Isabella furious. She thought that her mother never loved her actual father. This led to Isabella and her mother constantly fighting every day. When she was just 7, she was sent off with her father. There she acted differently. She would be kind and gentle with her father. Her father then told her that she should respect her mother. And then a couple years later, she sent her back to live with her mother, only to behave badly again. Around her teen years, she was also a very bad student, as she wouldn't study and she would constantly skip class. This all changed on August 27, 2013. Isabella got into a huge argument with her mother. This made her stepfather call the police on Isabella. When the police arrived, Isabella complied. The police then asked Isabella's mother if she wanted them to take Isabella to jail for the night. Isabella's mother obviously said no and to close the case for now. This left Isabella off the hook. However, the next morning, Isabella waited for her mother to go take a shower. She then followed her mother inside the shower with a big kitchen knife. Up to the point where she was unrecognizable. Isabella's stepfather called the police on Isabella, and Isabella was shortly arrested. And on September 5th, 2013, she was tried for the murder of her mother. The judges accepted Isabella's plea of not guilty due to insanity and sent her off to the Colorado Mental Health Institution. 7 years later, the video of her in the court trial went viral. This was dubbed the Isabella Guzman challenge, where creators would try and imitate the smirk that she did in the court trial, as it said that she was trying to imitate the famous serial killer Richard Ramirez. Today, Isabella is 27 years old and is still in a mental institution. Like and follow for more.
Cannibal facts that'll eat at you for days. Part 2. 71-year-old Tamara Samsonova murdered and ate at least 11 people and kept a diary detailing her crimes. She's been dubbed the Granny Ripper, and this CCTV footage shows her carrying the head of one of her victims in a saucepan. In 2008, a man on a packed Greyhound bus named Vince Lee killed and beheaded another 22-year-old passenger. He proceeded to dismember and eat his body in front of the other people on the bus. In 2008, Joe Matheny was sentenced to death after murdering 8 people, turning their meat into hamburgers, and selling them to unsuspecting customers. This photo shows the survivors of the 1972 Andes plane crash. The passengers resorted to cannibalism to survive 72 days in the snow. If you look closely at the ground, you'll see a human spine picked clean next to the guy on the right. In 1928, Albert Fish met up with his friend with the intention of killing and eating him. However, when he was introduced to the guy's 10-year-old sister Grace, he decided to eat her instead. After, he sent a letter to their parents saying that she tasted sweet and tender.